Fearless Studio, we are back, and guess who I dragged to the studio all the way from America? We have Summer Bunnies in the house.
Summer Bunny.
He's the one, the only, oh my gosh, legendary Kanjii Mbugua.
Hey.
Kanjii, welcome to Kenya.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Fearless Studio.
Thank you.
Welcome to Fearless Summit 2024.
Come on.
Kanjii, today we began Fearless,
yeah.
and we've been enjoying some new music that's coming out of Mavuno Worship.
Yeah.
When we take steps back years, many years back, not too many.
like many.
Okay, when we take
but
some
literally
steps.
it's almost 2 decades. So
it's almost 20 years.
Yeah,
Kanjii.
so that's many years.
It goes back to you.
Yeah.
It comes to you.
Yeah.
Almost like the permission giver, the baton passer type of thing.
Yeah.
What are you feeling seeing a new generation of young musicians coming up, curating amazing songs, amazing albums for the kingdom?
Yeah, man. For me, it's just super exciting.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to do something cool. It's another thing to see it live on way beyond your time and way beyond you.
Yeah.
And that's such a gift to be able to actually see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So I think for me, that's one of the perspectives I have is, you know, I think music is such a core part of who Mavuno is, and seeing it, you know, seeing now what what Riga and all the new musicians we have, what they're doing, and keeping that key part of our identity. I think, you know, flying high. You know, so I'm just excited, and I can't wait to see what it evolves to, because I think, you know, it's gonna keep growing, keep expanding. I can't wait for them to start experimenting with, you know, what does this mean for teenagers? What does this mean for, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, I know, Kanjii, when you sort of like started this thing out, there's a huge element of outreach.
Yeah.
The music played with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that correlation is still there.
Yeah.
But I know that there's an importance in listening to the sound of a generation and linking it with the sound of the movement.
Yeah.
What do you think is coming out of it, and how important is music for movements? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think music is vitally important for movements. Martin Luther, the reformer, said, he's quoted saying, first the Bible, then the hymnal. And what he was basically saying is that the hymnal, which is the songs of that particular age, are vitally important in the spiritual formation of people. And Pastor Kenton of Mariners Church also says that music is the only thing that we do in the body of a Christian that occupies all your being.
Wow.
Right? Because it occupies your mind,
it
occupies your emotions, and you dance. It occupies your body. A good someone will occupy your mind and your emotions, but you're not dancing. You know, you might stand up. So it says it's a one thing that occupies all that you are as a human. And so I feel like for me, music becomes so vitally important when you understand this concept that you know, the cerebral thoughts that I have, but for them to come into my soul, there needs to be a deeper connection, and that's what music does. So when I was talking to Pastor Carol last year, and you know, she was teaching me about prayer and what has been happening in the prayer movement, and I was teaching it at our church in California. And for me, I had an aha moment, which was connected to music, and this will explain your question. What Mavuno has been doing with prayer, which is, you know, you take the scripture or the word of the house, right? And then you break it down into adoration, confession, thanksgiving, supplication. What you're doing is you're praying the word of the house into your soul, right?
Yes.
Now, music does that as well. Which is why, you know, writing songs for this movement is so vitally important. Because, you know, if there's a concept, that's a concept of the house, family, whatever it is, if you wanted to get people's souls, the best way to do that is sing it, you know. So which is why I think like music is super important for, you know, for this movement, for any movement really. But being able to write songs that are carry the word of the house into the souls of the people of the house.
Yeah, so music is not only galvanizing, it's transcendent, it's intergenerational. I told you about the guy I met in Meru.
Yeah, which is so cool.
Who knows you, he's never met you, but he's like, oh, you come from Mavuno, that's Kanjii's church, right?
Yeah.
And it's because
so
of the
cool.
music that you started.
So
cool. Kanjii, you're here at the 15th edition of Fearless Summit. We've had a lot of things so far. Anything that you're hearing, you're feeling, you're processing that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was Pastor M's plenary. When he talked of the kind of like the 5 levels of discipleship making movement. And you know, obviously family being the trigger and that being the most important thing. But I was just thinking about that even beyond church, you know, and how that's just such a valuable thing, because you know the church is the people, right? So me as a follower of Jesus, like how am I embracing family and embracing my disciples and walking with them and, you know, challenge them and inspiring them to, you know, be the best worship leaders they possibly can, and, you know, live impactful lives and love their wives well, and
love your wives well,
and all of that stuff. So I think for me that really stood out.
Love it.
And I saw it not just as a church like vertical, but it's something that could be applied, you know, just in life. Kanjii, before I let you go, you're releasing new music. Yes.
With new sound.
Yes.
What is at the heart of it? Is there anything at the heart of it?
Absolutely. It's been the same thing that's always been at the heart of the music that I've done, even here at Mavuno, which is, I feel like there's always a dichotomy between church music and popular music.
Yes.
And sometimes they come close.
But not quite.
But not quite.
Yes.
And so for me, I always ask the question, what is a 15-year-old? What, you know, and me, I was inspired by my kids who and their friends who, when they're left to they listen to Christian music. But when they're left to their own devices and they're chilling, they're listening to Burna Boy,
something else,
who they listen to Afrobeats, etc. When they're by themselves without any supervision, they're just doing what is coming naturally to them. And so that challenged me, because I was like, man, I don't want to live in a world where my kids and, you know, other teenagers don't have access to dope music. That literally was the word. You know, so I know I'm not even the person for it, because I'm not of that generation. But I felt like I need to start jumpstarting the conversation, and hopefully it triggers a 20-year-old to start. Man, maybe I can make some cool Christian music that you know, that is worshipful, but at the same time,
pop,
you know,
and
works.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kanjii.
Thank you.
Thank you.